takes a little bit of wind up this one. You gotta ride. You gotta ride. Little freestyle.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Strictly Football. It's been a while, but we're back, hopefully more consistently, how we have planned to do it this season. But we're here, we're back, ready to talk about football. I feel like a lot of things have happened since the last time we talked, which it's been about like 2 weeks now, no? A little bit over 2 weeks now. So, so, hey, we're excited. Leave a like if you're excited as well. Comment, let us know. And yeah, how are you guys doing?
Sorry, I burped into the mic. I'm doing pretty good. I'm tired though. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing pretty good. I think a long day. Excited to see. The last thing that I saw, like the last game that I saw of football was the Clásico, which wasn't too long ago. So
yeah,
that was a good watch. I think. At least it gives me more insight about Real Madrid. But other than that, been pretty good. We've also been kind of silent on video games as well. We haven't even streamed on that either. But just know that we're here. Also, just a quick plug as well. If anybody that listens to us makes songs, make sure send it to us, man. Send it to us. That might be the intro song to this podcast. strictlyfootball21@gmail.com. If you got anything like that, let us know.
Just make a quick little beat.
Yeah, a quick little beat, man.
Yeah, I'll second that. I feel like if anybody just makes beats, send them over, man.
Yeah.
Send that MP4 audio. We'll play with it. We'll enjoy it. I'm doing good too. I apologize, guys, for my little. Apparently, my Mac is from like the 2000s, and it requires multiple updates for me to just open an app. So I'm on my phone today, but I'm here and I'm ready to go. Definitely don't want to miss this episode. And yeah, man, feel like let's get to it.
Too much of this, man.
Reminds me of it's like, man, they caught me with the LimeWire, man. On them downloads.
Hey guys, Katos is here.
Hey, the boy's live.
Katos is too many Katos videos on my timeline.
That's right, dude. That's too many.
Broke my Mac. Yeah, man. What about you, Irving? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Nearing the end of my college career for now, at least. We'll see in the future, but nearing the end.
I'm gonna come.
What? That's a way to celebrate?
No.
Hey, that's one way to celebrate. Okay.
So, but yeah, man. But I'm doing good. I'm doing great. So, looking forward to talking about. We got some nice headlines right here that I'm looking at. So, yeah, why don't we get straight into it? For those who have never watched this before, we have a kind of little outline of how we do our show. We basically have a segment called Tarjeta Roja of the week or weeks that we talk about. Then we go into our main headline that we want to focus on. And then we go through a little recap of the week where we give each other a minute to talk about certain headlines. Then we'll go into a game, and we'll kind of round it off with an open-ended question, kind of a debate. So, yeah, let's get started with our Tarjeta Roja of the week, which is going to Aston Villa this week, more specifically Tyrone Mings. For those who missed the Champions League game, which I don't blame you if you did because it's Aston Villa versus Club Brugge, Emi Martinez passed the ball to Tyrone Mings. The ball looked in play, but Tyrone Mings wanted to take the ball out from the goal. So he picks up the ball and sets it back onto the box line where he's supposed to give the goal kick from. The ref calls a penalty, and Club Brugge scores. Now, I need to see the score, but
it was 1-0.
So, yeah, they lost because of that. What do you guys think about that? I mean, did you guys catch it? Is it a dumb play? I mean, yeah.
When a guy's banging you, you spin off of him.
I think I Arsenal went to something like this last year when Gabriel also the goalie I think passed it to him and he picked it up with his hand. I don't know. It just seemed like a big confusion, but it seems like I mean I believe that was their first loss in the Champions League, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So they were I think they were the oh no I don't know I think Liverpool might be they're like
Yeah,
también like
Liverpool's first
¿verdad?
first place. Yeah, same.
But Austin Villa was up there for the first three fixtures. So yeah, I mean it's unfortunate, and hopefully it's not the unraveling of Austin Villa. I think they're a cool story. I think it's cool to see a team like Austin Villa kind of do well in Europe, and I mean I think it's just I mean yeah, tarjeta roja for Minks. I think well deserved. Lack of focus, and the reality of it is that they shouldn't be losing to that team, and but I guess on the other hand too, I mean, Emi Martinez, the penalty stopper, I mean that must, I think as a goalie that must take you the fuck out though, right? It's like you
Yeah.
sometimes when it's in penalties, like I think sometimes I don't know, this is the way I was because I wasn't a goalie, but as a kicker, I think it was better for me to know that I'm gonna potentially take one, like if it's like a handball or anything like that. But when it's a mistake that you're like, oh fuck, I don't know,
Yeah.
I feel like the mindset is a little different.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I feel like I agree. It's the or at least like it's the tarjeta roja for the lack of focus because I feel like these are some high professional players who not only just train football itself, but I feel like they also get trained like on their mind to stay locked in for 90 minutes or however long they play. And I feel like this is a mistake that I feel like neither one of them thought they could make, and it happened to be that they did make it and cost them 3 points.
Yeah. Yeah. I think to me, it's just it also might be just the lack of not having that experience being in a stage like that, and that pressure of we haven't lost a game and we're playing in the Champions League as a team that on paper shouldn't be there. So yeah, unfortunate, really, unfortunate. Yeah. So that was our tarjeta roja of the week. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Let us know if we missed a tarjeta roja. Which one would you have given out? Um, so yeah, moving on to our main headline story of the week. I think it's been the story of the week now for the past week and a half, 2 weeks, at least from what I've seen. Rodri wins the Ballon de Oro over Vinícius Jr. And key point to highlight is that the Madrid team, already before the event even started, said they weren't going to show up to this event, and people saying in solidarity with Vinicius Jr. because they knew he wasn't going to win. What do we think about this? I mean, first of all, did Rodri deserve el Balón de Oro? And secondly, yeah, where do you put Vini here?
I'm pissed now.
I to me, my initial thoughts. I mean, I have been saying that Vinícius Jr. was not going to win it, so I think maybe I'm in the minority, but maybe I'm not because he didn't win it. I think so. I'm not totally mad that Rodri won it. I think what hurt Vinicius Jr. is like he's just too polarizing to me. At least in my opinion, I think he's too polarizing. And the Ballon d'Oro has never been it hasn't been for the last like I guess since I've been watching football a place where like players that are like have an edge to them win the Ballon d'Oro. You know, Cristiano I feel like had to do a ridiculous amount to get them. And and Messi too though. I mean, it also puts this also into context too. I mean, just the ridiculous numbers that the Messi and Ronaldo were doing, but like that space is I don't think made to push that edge. So to me, it makes sense that Rodri won it. He's a lot safer, and it's not like he's not a pivotal point person to that team. I mean, we're seeing how Manchester City right now is playing, so it's not like it's not unheard of. I think I think again I repeat and I repeated it on this podcast that I think Vinicius is like I think he's a good player, but like I think that just that like polarizing factor when it comes to individual awards I think is gonna just hurt him. He has to do something extraordinary to win it, because the Champions League, as much. I mean, I'm not to say that it's easy, but you are also with the best team in the world. You have some of the best players in the world, and you're kind of expected to be in that talk every year. You know what I'm saying? Now, how do you do that for Brazil, where that Brazil team that he's playing with is really far to the Brazil that we're used to, and he's supposed to be the main guy, and we have a tournament like the Copa America, and my boy kind of ghosted, you know what I'm saying? And he was struggling against an 18-year-old Costa Rican kid, and that's I don't think that ball falls on him, but it's shit like that they're gonna like look to like, can he do that? So to me, that was my biggest thing. So and with Real Madrid going not going, I think that was just kind of we'll talk about that later,
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Yeah.
yeah, that was also interesting because that's just kind of a weird thing to kind of just let out. I don't know how y'all felt about that, but it was kind of a weird information for it to be said before, because I think
Yeah.
Fabrizio Romano broke the news like
Yeah.
hours before the event even happened.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting you note about his polarizing kind of character. One of the before the award was given out, one of the criterias that Ballon de Oro actually said that they were using to evaluate players was their conduct on and off the field. So yeah, interesting. Luis, what do you think?
I mean, I feel like that's my issue with it. I feel like it's the inconsistency when it comes to this award. I mean, I would argue that the award itself is polarizing because you're talking about inconsistencies on and off the field. At the same gala, I mean, obviously it's not the Ballon d'Oro, but it's like you gave Dibu Martinez the best goalkeeper, and we're not talking about how he acts outside of the three posts that he covers. So it's like my upset mood with it is just the inconsistency. Like, sure, did Rodri make merits to win it? Yeah, he did. But he didn't make more merits to win it than a Carvajal. So why aren't we just going with Carvajal, who also scored a goal in the Champions League, who won the same amount of trophies that Rodri won, and we're not like debating whether Carvajal earned it or not, you know? And again, it's just the inconsistency in the criteria, and I feel like I do think that FIFA might have it out for Madrid too. And there's a clash. I think Seedorf said it best, where like there's just some disputes between FIFA and Madrid that probably played a factor too. Because I feel like when you argue Rodri's like year or calendar year, it's like in 2021 there's a player who probably nobody would have said he deserved it, but Jorginho playing the same position with the same stats and winning the same amount of trophies as Rodri did not win the Ballon d'Oro that season. But we're not going back to that season and saying, oh, that one was Jorginho because he won it, he won everything. But this year, I feel like we're just adding more to a criteria that I feel like it's just meant to be so that a player like Vini wouldn't have won it. Like, I wouldn't have been mad if Vini would have won it. And I think I feel like Rodri got the Ballon d'Oro that he deserved to win last year when he scored the winning goal of the Champions League and helped Manchester City lift the Champions League for the first time. But hey, last year there was a different criteria, and the criteria was Messi scoring goals in the MLS. But again, I feel like I'm just upset that this award, and maybe we are going into a new era, and I feel like we are because we've talked about it before. Where like in the past, you knew that there was going to be two players in the top three that were just locked ins for sure. Like you knew Messi was there, you knew Cristiano was there, and the award would go to who eventually scored more goals, who won more titles. And I feel like in today's football, we don't have those two players. So I feel like we're just like scrambling around, finding, okay, who was the player that won this trophy? Who was the player that won this trophy? So it's like, it's just the inconsistency in criterias that to me kind of just No, like I can't understand that, and you can't get me to understand. I might be biased, but yeah, I'm just I can't,
Yeah.
I'm pissed now.
I am.
Yeah. Well,
I,
to give
I'm
my
hurt.
kind of conspiracy.
Conspiracy Jose is out.
Yeah. To
I
give
mean,
my. Go ahead. Go ahead.
where's Jorginho's about? If I was Jorginho, I would have like tweeted something, said, said where the fuck is my Ballon d'Or from 2021, dog? Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, you're hitting it on it, man. No, you're hitting on it, man. Es que son abusivos, man. I feel it.
excelente.
Excelente.
Oh, that would have been funny. Yeah, to give my kind of 2 cents is, to me, I mean, I'm gonna say it right now. Yes, I have some bias. Yes, I'm a Madrid fan. I'm a pretty big Vini fan as well. But I mean, to me,
I'm gonna come.
to me, I think it was. I don't want to say clear. Like, I don't want to say Rodri didn't deserve it because I mean, he is arguably one of the best midfielders of the world. For sure, the best CDM in the world, the sixth in the world, whatever you want to call it. Um, but I think when we look at each player's individual performance and what I've seen and how I would look at Rodri's season, to me, he wasn't the best player for Spain in the Euros. I would say Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, even Carvajal were probably ahead of him. He wasn't Manchester City best player this past season. That was given out to Phil Foden, and he didn't win the Champions League. They fell short to who? Madrid. So I think it's definitely interesting to see this award given out to Rodri. Not to say he's not a great player, and I don't want to discredit him as a player because I think before I always thought he was overrated. But I see him as a good player, and I appreciate him as a player. But I think when you look at Vini's season in general, and I think the main like argument you can make against him is just his poor Copa America, performance. Again, this is a Brazil team that is nowhere near where we have seen it before. But I just think that when you look at Vini's season and you see the goals he scored, the assists he scored, the goals he scored in pivotal games, the Champions League he's won, the trophy he won La Liga with Real Madrid, a very dominant season for him in Real Madrid. I think, I mean, to me the award was clear. At the beginning of the season, we all thought it would have been Jude Bellingham, and he kind of slowed down towards the end of the season. But I agree with you, Ariel, and your point in saying that I think Ballon d'Oro looked at him on and off the field, and the truth is he is a very polarizing, figure. You either love him or hate him. There's no in between. I mean, a lot of people hate him, a lot of people love him, but he definitely is polarizing, and I think that's what Ballon d'Oro saw, and they gave it to Rodri, a safe choice. People were gonna be, mad about it and stuff, but I mean, it's not like no one has ever not been mad about who got the Ballon d'Oro. So yeah, I mean, to me, and then we'll talk about Madrid not showing up later in this podcast. But to me, it was clear. To me, I think Vini should have won. But it's done now. It's done. It's done. So the damage is done.
I
That's
mean,
my opinion.
Vinny was a clear cut favorite to win it
Yeah.
ahead of the ceremony.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't play for Madrid and has the same accolades, there's no debate. He gets it.
I mean, even the season before, we were talking about Vinny winning the Ballon d'Oro, being in that conversation. And now that he's there, he was a top 3 candidate, arguably number 1. I mean,
He
he gotta
got
get there,
robbed.
man. He got robbed, but
Yahweh!
Look, man, I get it. I get it. Yo, the Real Madrid jersey's behind you. I
yeah,
get
my
it.
bad,
I'm
my
a Real
bad.
Madrid fan as well, man. But I think we gotta take it off, and I think I don't mean I don't know. I think that there is. I think what is missed. I think sometimes often in this conversation is just how important a midfielder is, and I think just because Rodri's not scoring goals, he's not assisting. I think he is a pretty clutch player. I think for Man City and for Spain too. So And of course, Vinny's also, he is clutch as well. But I don't know. There's also this aspect of like him just being an attacker and like midfield not necessarily always being looked at as like the sexy role. And I think that that's also playing a role to it's potentially, at least to me, like I look at it as like, not that's not to hate too much on the winger because I think I am kind of in between with Vinny. I've never really been a fan of Vinny too much, but I do want to see him succeed. But I am also not like hella mad that Rodri won it. I think that he's also a deserving player of it as well, and a player that I think we don't really talk about too often, really, because he's just not a sexy player. My boy has the tucked in shirt,
Yeah.
the black boots.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he's just not. That's not the guy you want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up, you're like, that's not the guy. But hey,
But again, we go back to the criteria, like how it's changing and it doesn't favor, because it's like, I agree with you. Like at some point, we do like to see the midfielders, and even when Cannavaro won the Ballon d'Oro in 2006, like just giving
when's the
a
defender gonna win this thing?
well, no, I mean, I would argue that Van Dijk got robbed too when that criteria came out, and who they give it to? The little short dude with the big ears that plays for Miami. It's like in 2010, who scored the winning goal of the World Cup and won the Champions League. the same amount of trophies as the little short dude with the big ears. But no, the criteria there wasn't let's give credit to the midfielder. No, let's give it to the other guy because the other guy is gonna bring in more money. It's all marketing, man. I'm out of here. I can't be here. Makes me sick.
Go to bed!
Indeed.
Well, let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think Rodri should have won this Ballon d'Oro? Do you think Vini should have won it? Do you think somebody else should have won it? Give us a name out there. Nothing crazy like a Bobasi or something like that, but,
Hey guys, Katruz is here.
That guy
But
should have
just-
won it. That
That
guy
guy
should
should
have
have
won
won
it.
it.
That guy
That's
shoulda
funny.
won
The memes after Piojo Alvarado will not show up to Ballon d'Oro ceremony. And it's man, and then the Chivas account. Shout out to the Chivas account on TikTok. They asked Piojo Alvarado. He's like, why didn't you make it to the Ballon d'Oro ceremony? He's like, pues Chivas no me dejó ir. So yeah, shout out. But yeah, let us know who you think should have won the Ballon d'Oro, and do you agree with our takes? So yeah, moving on to the recap of the week. Transition. For those who haven't been here, for those who haven't listened to us before, maybe haven't listened to us in a while, our recap of the week basically will consist of me giving out headlines to Ariel and my brother, and they're gonna just have a minute to talk about it, and then we're gonna move on. I'm gonna cut them off wherever they're talking. Yeah, we got 4 headlines here today. I think the main headlines for us that we wanted to talk about. So, yeah, you guys ready? All right. So with that, drum roll right there. First headline of the week, breaking news today, early morning. I sent it to Ariel. Bruce Arena announced as the new Earthquakes head coach. Is this a dub move? And before you guys give your take, I just want to read off some achievements for those who don't know about Bruce Arena. Arguably one of the best MLS coaches of all time. 5 MLS Cup wins, 4 Supporter Shields, 35 postseason wins, 4 Coach of the Year awards, 260 regular season wins, and 1 Conca Champions. All are most in MLS history. So you could argue he is the best MLS coach of all time. And now he's coming to San Jose and see if he can change whatever's going on there. So yeah, what do you guys think about this move?
I'm gonna come.
That's how excited you are?
My guy's excited. All right, Ariel, you got a minute.
Right. I think this is great. I think my boy Bruce. I mean, whether you love him or you hate him, I think that he is, arguably the best American coach ever. up until this point in history. And why would you not want that person leading the charge for the last place team? I think it's cool that he's taking upon this really hard task, really, with this team that really is reluctant to spend. They have a great youth academy, so they have some good youth players that are coming out, and like it's this team that doesn't have an identity. It's like it makes me excited. Potentially get a season ticket. I don't know, maybe, but I'm excited. I'm not expecting him to win anything the first season, but I'm expecting at least some sort of change to what we've been seeing. It's just been too much of a roller coaster. We've had a gajillion head coaches and nobody has worked out, and now we have somebody that has done it in this league. So I'm excited about that.
Time. All right, Luis, you got a minute on the clock. Go.
I mean, I feel like the same way. I feel like I think for a team like the Earthquakes and for us to see them be in the last zones every year, this is exciting news. And I really do hope that bringing in like probably a coach, the coach with the most wins, or a coach with history in MLS, also comes along with like letting him do the work, like giving him like not an open bank account, but giving him a checking account where he can actually build a team. I guess to say it that way, like a team that is worth watching, because it's already going to be worth watching just to see. Oh shit, Bruce Arena's back, but now it's like okay, oh shit, Bruce Arena's back and he's doing good, so we now have to put our eyes on San Jose. And I think this is the time to do it because I feel like there's a lot of teams on the West that have kind of fallen down, and it's a good opportunity for San Jose to step up and kind of maybe not make that leap into the playoffs, but do something.
Time. Yeah,
Thank you,
shout out.
Jose.
Just to give my small take, shout out to whoever was able to bring Bruce Arena to San Jose. It is a brilliant move. We got arguably the best coach in MLS history, if not the best coach in MLS history. But again, it all has to do with what kind of what are they going to give him? We
Yeah.
have Bruce Arena now, but what are they going to give him? And that's the main thing. But again, I mean, you can't go any lower than this, for the Earthquakes. It's only up from here, I'd imagine. We're already the team with the most losses in MLS history in a season. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting and definitely looking forward to see games out there in San Jose. So, yeah. All right, next headline. Sticking to North America, sticking to MLS. Hector Herrera has been cut from the Houston Dynamo after spitting at a ref. To give you a context, he was one of the highest paid players in the MLS, getting paid $5.6 million a year. He's done. He's cut. Where do you see him go from here? And is this a good move by Dynamo, showing some sense, letting him go, cutting their most paid player, arguably their most notable player too. So, Luis, what do you think? A minute, go.
I mean, if I'm the Dynamo front office, like what a perfect scapegoat to not renew your one of your DP players. Because it's like, dude, you can't make it up. Like I mean, also what he did was definitely uncalled for. You can tell he lost his head. And I feel like it's just where Hector Herrera's career is just kind of going to. Where it's like he came out here for the money, he left Atletico, came for the money, he got his money, and I feel like ever since then, I feel like football has just kind of became a hobby for him. He didn't do that bad this season. He had assists, he had goals, and he helped the team get to the playoffs. But ultimately, I feel like him and Houston both knew their time were up, and what happened on the last game was kind of like you can't make it happen better, but it was kind of like the best way to part ways for both sides.
Time. Daddy, want to give your sense?
Me?
Yeah, you got a minute.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Go.
that's the part of it.
Go.
Does he
Go.
does he not?
Go.
I gotta say I may be in a slight disagreement with you all. I think this would have been I'm not condoning what he did because I think that it's a fucked up thing to do to spit at the ref. I do think though that this could have been an opportunity similar to LAFC of honoring one of their players. The reality of it is that Hector Herrera has played a major role in turning that team around. He was the captain. He had over 20 assists last season. He got them into the playoffs. This team was sucking complete ass before he got there. So to turn around after one mistake on your captain, where do they go now? They had momentum, and now they've completely stopped it. I know he fucked up, though. So I get that, but I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't want to say his career is done because I don't think so. I mean, someone's gonna pick him up. Even San Diego will probably pick him up when they open up. But yeah, I mean, dumb move. Maybe by both sides here is what I'm hearing.
Hey, Bruce Arena, bring him on, man.
Hey, I would love to
that'd
have
be
him.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fire.
Like, bring him on.
You see what I'm saying? That there's still some value to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you let him go just because he made one mistake? I mean, that's my opinion, though.
That might actually make me buy an Earthquakes jersey.
There's a
You
5
know?
points. I mean, I feel like there was 5.6 million reasons they could have thought of letting him go, and maybe Houston's just on a cash flow, and they can't afford that luxury.
Maybe he spit. Maybe they told him to spit on the ref.
Conspiracy sound right now. All right, moving over across the pond. First headline there we got is Madrid losing to Barca and Milan in the same week, arguably getting squashed, getting ran through. Is it time to panic for Madrid? They lost to Barca 4-0. They lost to Milan 3-1. Many people have blamed Ancelotti, the squad, the players. Benzema actually came out and said that Mbappe is one of the problems, not because he's bad, just because he is a left winger, not a striker, and Madrid already had the best left winger in the world. What do you guys think? Do you think Madrid should panic? Reactions about this horrible week for them? I think I started my brother first. So Ariel, what do you think? You got a minute?
Yeah, I was able to catch the Clásico. Haven't seen the Clásico in a long time. I'm happy that I saw this one because it really gave me insight on where Real Madrid's at. But I've been saying that Real Madrid does not play well. They don't play beautiful, but they get the job done. And I think what we're seeing is this Barcelona team that I think is really well ran. They got this kid that's on fire, and you have Rafinha that's kind of having a resurgence, and Lewa's coming back out of nowhere. So I think that they're hitting their stride. So it doesn't surprise me, but it is alarming. I wouldn't panic, but it is alarming. But we're also just used to them winning all the time. That they're like, oh, we gotta fucking panic. But the reality of it is that this is what we said in the beginning, that people are gonna get upset. Mbappe's probably gonna want to play left wing. Did I not say that? He's gonna be like, yeah, dog, but you're fucking there, so get the fuck out of my position, dude. I said that. I said that at the beginning of this thing. You're in my position, Vini. And I would argue that Mbappe's better than Vini. So, Vini, learn to play the 9, buddy. Or else you're going to get fucking sold because Mbappe is the money. Really. And you're too fucking polarizing. So, hey, he's not going to fucking push the buttons of the racist folks, but Vini is. And it's only a matter of time until they're fed up and some Premier League team's going to buy Vini.
Time. Wow, very controversial. I'll take there, baby. I don't. All right, Luis, what do you think? You got a minute?
I mean, first of all, to begin with, it's also really hard to win games for Madrid when you're defending with just 2 defenders.
Oof.
Like, dog, I saw that Milan game, bro. Cafucas on a sprint race with Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao. Dude, my dog was getting smoked. Like the Leao picture that he posted on Instagram after the game, like my boy Cafucas is like trying to grab on his leg as he's like falling down. And that leads, like, come on, like that I feel like that's a problem within its own with Madrid, and I feel like it against teams that maybe aren't as competitive, you may not see it as much, but against teams like Milan, against teams like Barca, it's very more noticeable that you need wing backs to defend as well, not just your center backs. And yeah, I feel like at some point somebody has to give in the top three. Like they already benched Rodrigo, which was the move that we all thought was going to happen. It already
Called it.
happened. But now there's another move to be made for that tridente up top to start functioning. And it's not going to be an easy one for either the players or Ancelotti. And this, sorry, just to
Time.
end it, this might be a fallback season till they get it right. And it might take till next season.
Well, to me, I think it's not time to panic. Maybe alarming, but I think this team has a lot of talent for it not to do at least good. Sure, the expectation is you're gonna win everything, but now we're seeing the reality that the team is not working. Mbappe, the big star that came in, is not working where he's being played at. So now Ancelotti has to go back to the drawing board. Florentino has to go back to the drawing board and be like, all right, where do we go from here? Sure, they can still win everything. This just might be a rough week. Yeah, so we'll see. And the last headline, kind of big news coming out of England. We kind of have been talking about it for a long time, but it finally happened. Ten Hag has been sacked. Sorry, he's gone. Ruud van Nistelrooy was the interim coach for like a week until they kicked my guy out to sign Ruben Amorim, appointed as a new head coach, coach Sporting before landing this job. What do you guys think about Ten Hag's tenure and this new tenure with Amorim as the front office now, or as a coach? Luis, go with you.
Yeah, man, about damn time, dude. And it's like poetic justice. Time gave my boy Ronaldo the reason. Like y'all, a lot of people when Ten Hag started talking shit about Ronaldo, started backing Ten Hag and saying that Ronaldo was old and that he was just like he was the problem at Man U. Think time has shown you that it wasn't Ronaldo the problem. But yeah, I think Ten Hag leaves basically every player that he signed. I mean, the motherfucker signed like 15 players in his tenured. But I mean, as a Man U supporter, I'm excited for it, and I feel like I'm excited to see a Portuguese coach who has a philosophy of Mourinho, who likes to play a five back, and when they attack, just plays a three back. So it's like I'm excited for that. And some of these Man U players are either gonna like have to step it up, Rashford, or yeah, you might as well get out too, because you ain't gonna fit this new style of play that is like risked and it wins you games the way you're supposed to win, like on the line. And hey, he just beat City 4-1 too. So
Time. Ariel, go ahead. Take us home.
Yeah, his tenure, I think I will remember Ten Hag as somebody that was introduced and I was intrigued because he sounded like a smart dude. And he sounded like he was coming in with the tactics and the analytics. And I think he fooled many people. And I think my boy lost the ship within like a month or two. And he's been holding on tight for the last couple of for the last couple of seasons. He's gotten some wins. So I can't knock that. I mean, he's won some trophies, which is good for them. But I think it's gonna be interesting because as I'm hearing Jose say, buy back and getting rid of Rashford potentially. I think he's done a lot of damage because and Arsenal was in this position too. A lot of players on big contracts with a lot of money, and it's gonna be hard to let go of those players. Like, who's gonna want to buy Anthony? They're not gonna get 80 million for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that to me is the position that they're in, and you can name a couple of them, right? Casemiro, uh, this guy Zersky looks like he's not the real deal. Um,
Time. Shit, even my guy Bruno Fernandez, man.
fuck that guy.
no, he's the only one that's staying because that's That's his
Yeah,
boy right there.
It's this guy
That-
right there.
yeah, it's his guy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I agree. I think Ten Hag did a lot of damage now, and it's done. He's out. I agree. I thought he was going to be really good for Manchester United. Yeah, I mean, you're right. To me, this season might be done. I mean, you're 13th. Getting to top 4, top 5 is going to be tough. It's a long season still, but I mean, it's tough. It's tough, especially in the Premier League. So it might be done. But I'm sure starting next season, I mean, I expect or I hope to see like some kind of cleanse for Manchester United. Like get Casemiro out of there, get Anthony out of there, get Rashford out of there. I mean, to be honest, I could say Bruno Fernandes, Ericsson, all these players you sign, like
Lindelof.
yeah, just start
I'm saying, like,
cleansing.
Harry
Yeah.
Maguire, I think, is still in the team.
Yeah, yeah. They still signed some. They have great pieces, but yeah, they got to start like cleansing this team because it's not looking good. So yeah, I mean we'll see.
Horrible player manager last thing. Player
Yeah.
management was horrible. I think that was a showcase.
And I mean, I feel like just it's the last segment of this section, but yeah, like I mean, I feel like you should have known something. Where like he tried to rebuild Ajax in the Premier League, and that just wasn't going to work out. Like the Everdees and the Premier League are two complete different leagues, and I don't think he caught on to that for however long he was the coach.
Mason Mount, another name in here.
Hey, that's
Luke
number
Shaw.
7 right there, dude.
Luke Shaw, another name that
Luke Shaw,
I don't
another
hear.
guy. Jeez, I mean the list goes on for just people that shouldn't be on this team, dude.
Yeah,
With a
Agreed.
lot of money too.
A lot of money that they're not going to want to leave, and they're not going to just be able to sell.
Or at least
I'm sure Everton would take a few of those players. They could use them.
For sure.
Imagine Rashford at
Imagine,
Everton.
oh, that'd be so fun. That'd be so fire. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Harry
See,
Maguire.
but okay, final thing. That's where a player like Rashford needs to go. To an Everton, to a Nottingham, Aston Villa. Rebuild yourself, There's not as much pressure as being in on a Manchester United kit or team, being like in a top 5 team, So that's where a player like Rashford needs to go. I'm not saying Everton, obviously that'd be nice, but you need to go to a team like that.
So the lower bottom of the table, really?
I think so.
I disagree.
You got to
with you on
rebuild
that.
yourself.
Y'all remember that shop episode with LeBron and Rashford?
Yeah.
Where he says it's his
favorite
quote?
His favorite quote.
It kind of applies to him right now. Where
Yeah.
it's like, I'm LeBron as a kid. That's my favorite saying too.
Uh-huh.
It's like put yourself in positions to make you uncomfortable or whatever. I think Rashford needs to revisit that quote.
Yep. So yeah, well, let us know what you think about any of these headlines. Did we miss any? And yeah, what do you think about them? Leave us a comment. Timestamp. Yep. Transition into our next segment, our second to last segment. It's the fun part of the show, at least I'd like to think. It's our game of the week. This week, let's see, we got, I already know. Underrated, overrated, or properly rated. I didn't include it in here, but it's going to be a FIFA edition. So, yay. Basically what that entails is, for those who don't know, underrated, overrated, or properly rated, I'm gonna show Ariel and my brother some players. They're gonna tell me if they're underrated, overrated, or properly rated. But this is FIFA edition, so I'm gonna show them the FIFA card, and they got to put their FIFA hat on and let me know if this player is any of these 3 and what rating would they give him instead, or if they would keep him at the rating he is. So yeah, make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. All right. Let's move on to our first player.
Hey, Dad!
Hey, can you tell us who that is?
That's Brian Gil, killer for El Salvador. Is he underrated, overrated, or properly rated?
My boy is criminally underrated, dude. Oh my god, dude. They can't even give my boy a 70? Jesus Christ. I mean, what
66
else?
pace.
See, come on, dude. That's not even real, dude. 66 pace? That's a center back's pace, dude. As a striker?
This guy's lightning fast for everybody who
I
doesn't
mean,
know.
he's okay. I'm not gonna say he's fucking Usain Bolt, but okay, as somebody that has watched El Salvador play, and I will say this, a caveat: this he has said he's not gonna come back to the El Salvador team,
Hey.
so that's unfortunate. But I don't think he's a 66 pace. I mean, Jesus
He's
Christ,
taking all his experience with him, man.
that's crazy, dude. 66 pace. I mean, that's insane. So to me, underrated. At least a 70.
At least.
At least a 70, dude.
At least a non-rare.
Yeah, at least, dude. Jeez. What is he? He's a common, right? He has to be.
Yeah,
This is silver.
For sure,
Silver
for sure.
non-rare.
For sure.
I mean, is
For
he
sure a silver.
is he really that bad at passing to be worthy of 45?
Yeah, dude. Like, come on, dude. What is that?
Yeah. Man. For those who can't tell, we got a chele in this podcast.
I have it on right now, buddy.
Yeah. Yep, as you can tell.
Hey, man, for the culture, bump my man up. Just
Thank
for
you.
the culture, yeah. Just
Thank
bump
you.
him up. Give
At
him a.
EA FC 25.
Well, it's
My
like it's
guy.
like the bump to 70 will be a +2 to each stat, so he's still gonna be at 68 pace
Crazy.
with
Nah, I bet-
47
Hey,
passes.
everybody
bet-
go Evo this guy.
I bet EA don't even know they have him in his database.
Dude.
We'll move on to a real player. We've been talking about him all podcast. We got Vini, a 90 rated. Context: the highest rated card in this year's FIFA is 91. So, is he underrated, overrated, properly rated? What do you think?
I think he's properly rated, but I don't know if his dribbling is in the 90s.
It's in the
'Cause
hundreds.
it's all just speed, at least to me. So,
Okay.
oh no, it really is. Like you don't. This isn't like a Ronaldinho playing on the wing. That yeah, I could argue that 90, but yeah, I think the dribbling's a little too high. It could be invested maybe in shooting or elsewhere. Properly rated.
Hey guys, Cartouche is here.
I think to me, I mean, again, I have to preface this. I'm not the biggest fan of Vinny, so to me, I would say he's overrated. I don't think this shooting right here, 84. I
That's
can't give it
generous?
to him. That's generous. That's a generous 84. I think he's at least, I think he's an 80 at most. So.
Fuck.
And I think the speed. I think you're hitting the head right on it, though, Jose. I think he is all speed. I think we only see a rainbow flick here, or there. Sometimes le sale, algunas veces no. So, yeah, to say that like, he's anything other than speed. I think he's a clutch player. So I can't say that his shooting is completely trash. But I do think that I think sometimes his finishing kind of like lets him down. So to me, a little overrated. I would say that. I think at 88, I think it would have been cool. 87, the way he was last year, I think would have been cool.
Damn, that's kind of crazy. Well, I think my guy's underrated. You got to give my guy a 91. Make him. We're talking about one of the best players, if not the best player in the world right now. Yeah, you got to give him a 91. It's just like Haaland, put him up there. I don't know why Haaland and Mbappe. Well, I guess I can see why Mbappe's 91, but come on, man, you got to make him 91. 92, man. Give my boy some respect, man. That's what I think.
Hey, have y'all seen that Katosis FIFA card? That guy's a beast.
I'm looking at him right now.
Yeah, that guy's a beast.
All right. Well, it looks like we're gonna move on. Oh, wait. All right, there you go. Look, we got 91 Rodri.
Taco de pito, homie. What's up? You want to try one?
No, I'm okay.
I mean, I think, am I going to say this is like the coolest card in the world? I'm not going to say that. I mean, FIFA consistently is rolling out these 91 cards that just suck complete ass. And I'm looking at one right now. This he has the same pace. Hey, mind you, he has the same pace as our first contender, Brian Hill. So he's 66 pace. I mean, there's nothing crazy about this card. So I can't say that this is properly rated. If anything, I think it's probably a little underrated, really.
Oof.
Give my boy at least something in the 90s. Jesus Christ.
A 91 rated card with no 90 stat.
Yeah, dude, give him something in the 90s. Jeez.
Yeah, he's overrated. There's no way this is a 91 rated card in a different FIFA.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But but if you do see Rodri play, I don't think he would deserve any stat above 90, if you're asking me. But that's what I'm saying. You think he's overrated?
Come on, man. Come on,
Hey,
man.
this is just this is SBC fodder right here. This is
SBC fodder. Yes. Yeah, that should be a category.
Yeah.
This is just
category.
Dani Parejo playing for City.
Exactly.
No difference.
The 86 card, dude.
Yeah. Well, I think my guy's overrated. My guy should be like 89, I think, max. Sorry, Rodri. You're
You guys
great.
gotta take that Real Madrid jersey off, man.
Nah, you're great, but sorry, you're not 91. You're not
He
in
would-
the Mbappes and Haalands of the world. And
He would
Vinis
for
of the
sure 100% start in Real Madrid's team.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
Of
but
course.
he's not a 91. Moving on to our second to last player. We got an icon here. So, yeah. Sorry, it's blurry. But we got
My
my boy
God,
Riquelme.
I don't even know if that's PG.
We got my boy
Okay.
Riquelme. For those who don't know, like me, who he is, he's an icon in FIFA. That's all he is to me.
A president that wants to beat up the fans at the stadium.
My boy's losing it, man. He's losing the plot, man. He's losing the plot. Dang, dude. This is my guy right here. It's my dog. One of my favorite players. Underrated for sure, but he's losing the plot. People are going to know him now for just his ridiculous antics as the fucking... He's the president of Boca, right?
Yep.
He's just... Yeah, it's looking bad, man. But as a player, though, I mean... What was
Different.
a true cam right here.
All right, so
True
what do you think? What do you think he should be rated then? If not,
To me, as an icon, easy base at 91. Easy, easy,
Fuck.
easy
Wait.
base. One of the
I-
best Argentina cams of all time. I mean, you could put him third, really. Maradona, Messi, and Riquelme.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know who else would be in that cam position for Argentina. I mean, I don't think he beats the other two, but I know for sure he's up there. So, I mean, I think he's just criminally underrated, and it's unfortunate because people every time I see people pack him, they're just like, God, Riquelme. It's like that's not what you're supposed to feel, you know, to get one of the best South American players of all time.
Yeah.
I
If my boy
agree.
Sam was here, you know, he'd go off.
I feel like I agree. He's definitely underrated. I feel like a lot of people didn't get to see his short tenure at Villarreal, but it was special.
It was.
It was special, and this card is not worthy of 71 pace. That should be higher. 'Cause that guy he had a lot of quick feet.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think he's definitely underrated. You could bump this guy's pace at least to an 80 and bump his rating to an 89, 90. I'll be okay with that. I'll live on that.
Well, to me, he's just fodder, as the kids say today. Fodder.
This is why they gave him this rating, because y'all put him in that position.
Yeah, I mean, just go look up some highlights of him in Villarreal. I mean, his vision. I think, like, I mean, we're talking about one of the best visions I think we've ever seen. Like, I think the way he would just be able to like filtrar un pase, like it was just. I mean, it was unheard of. I mean, I think you're right though. I think his stint was short in Europe, so I think that kind of hurts him to an extent. But I don't know, man. I look at that. I look at that season, those seasons with Villarreal, and I think he was like pivotal for a team that, like, you're talking about Real Madrid, that was kind of nuts.
Yeah. Well, moving on to our final player of this segment, Pulisic, 83. Considering how well he's done this season, where do you think he should be at?
This man was cooking Mendy, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. He plays for Milan, so I'll give him the 83 rated. I think this is one of those cases where I feel like the player earned his way to play for a big team. So, justifiable rating.
And to be kind of the star, to be honest, this season of Milan.
Yeah, he's our best player right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I'm as a Milan fan, I feel like I mean, that team that I saw out there against Madrid, unrecognizable. I don't know anybody on that team. So, for this guy to be out there doing his thing, and he looked dangerous, he looked hungry. I think I appreciate that, and if anything, I would say that this is properly rated, and a part of me wants to say a little bit underrated because he should be the best American card in the game, and if anything, they should give it maybe a little bit 1 or 2 more points up. I feel like I think he's earned it. I think I like that phrasing that Jose said of somebody that's earned that position, and I think he's at least to me, like, I wasn't a big Pulisic fan, but I'm starting to become one because I think I appreciate how that like low that he had at Chelsea towards the end of his time, like that didn't take him out, and he's kind of revitalizing his career. So I think I appreciate that. So underrated for me.
Yeah, I think I'd say the same thing. I think I put him at like an 85. I mean, we're talking about the best CONCACAF player at the moment. And again, he's not doing it for some low-level team. He's doing it for arguably one of the biggest teams in Europe. He is their best player, even with the Rafael Leao on the other side. I'm pretty sure he's their goal scorer of the season so far. So yeah, I think he earned it. Yeah, and again, not a big Pulisic guy, but I'm talking about the LeBron James of soccer. So yeah, well, that's it. That was the last player. Again, let us know. What do you think? Did we get any of these wrong? Probably. If you disagree with us, let us know why. Yeah, that's it. All right. And finally, our last segment of the night. We're ready to close it out. We said we were going to talk about it. This is the time to talk about it. Is Madrid not showing up to the Ballon d'Oro not classy? Does it leave a bad taste in people's mouth? I mean, we're talking about arguably the best. No, we're talking about the best club in the world, the biggest club in Europe, not showing up to this important event. Yeah. What did you guys feel about that?
When a guy's banging you,
I mean, to me, I guess I'll start off. I did not like that they didn't go, and I thought, if anything, it just further cemented like this doesn't build up Vini's case to win it. And to me, I think this was shitty move on their end, and yeah, you can say that their FIFA has it out for Real Madrid, but I still think that you show your face and you still you because you didn't have a problem when your other players won it. And just because your player didn't win it this year doesn't mean that they're not going to win it next year. So to me, like you have to learn how to win and you have to learn how to lose. And the reality of it is that like this is fake solidarity. To me, at least that's the way I see it. Like I don't think Real Madrid really cares about whether Vini or whatever blah blah blah. I think that they're they're just fake caring. At least that's my opinion. Whether he wins it or not, I think if anything, they're kind of just trying to stronghold. It kind of makes me bring me back about the Super League, really, and taking a stance in that. And so this is one way also to kind of use a player and use this as like, yeah, well, you need us more than we kind of need you type of situation. So that's kind of my initial thought. They should have gone, I think.
Luis.
On the contrary, I put on my shirt. I'm okay with them not going. I was okay with them not going. I mean, if we do a show of hands, how many of us actually watched that ceremony? No. If you watch, even I mean, even if it was also like on TikTok Live, like FIFA had their own like live going on. Nobody was tuning into that. Like, and the thing, and it was Fabrizio Romano who reported it, where it's like, I think it was like at 3 a.m. of like France time, or it's the same time as Spain. They were notified that everybody, I feel like everybody just kind of knew Vini was going to win it, but somebody spread the rumor internally and said, hey, dog, like, you guys are just going to go and you guys are going to get sabotaged because Vini's not winning. I mean, Carleto did win Coach of the Year, but that didn't matter to him. So I was okay with them not showing up, right? Because it did show that. I mean, like to the point of Ariela, or like to the other side of that point, it did show how important a club like Madrid is. Because it's like nobody was talking, or like I feel like people just kind of put Rodri winning it as like on the side, and like all the news headlines and outlets were Madrid not showing up to the ceremony, and it did separate like this ongoing I mean, I guess metaphorically, this ongoing Cold War between Madrid and Florentino with FIFA, where like this whole Super League idea has been stemming off now for a few years, and I feel like we get to see it from time to time, where like, yeah, like these, they're not okay with each other. They're not there's no peace, but they kind of have to live with it. So I've had no issue with them not showing up, and sure, it's not like every time a Ballon d'Oro ceremony happens, the whole team doesn't show up. Only certain players go, and in other occasions, there's been players that haven't gone either, and we're not talking about those as much as we are now, right? It's like, so yeah, no big deal, man. Nobody watched it anyway, so I'm okay
Well,
with that.
to me, I guess I see it as also like I think it's a bad look for France football, the people that do the whole Ballon d'Oro ceremony. I mean, you have the biggest club in the world not going to your event. Then again, it is based off an award you're giving off, an award that someone leaked that you weren't going to give to their player. Um, but it is a bad look. I mean, for the past like 2-3 years now, France football has been under scrutiny for this award. So I don't I don't think it's like bad that they didn't show up. I mean, sure, like it looks bad, and it makes them look like sore losers if we're being honest. Um, but I mean, hey, if then again, it also shows maybe how together the team feels and how complete the team may feel internally. So that's how I see it. I mean, I honestly, again, it's not a bad thing. I mean, anybody can choose not to show up to this event at the end of the day, right? So it's up to whoever wants to show up. I mean, we have Aramodo. we have Ademola Lookman showing up. Man's finishing like 30th in the Ballon d'Oro. I mean, why is he showing up really? He just
Yeah,
wants
because it's
to
a
have a good
big deal
time. He just
for
wants
him,
to.
man. He's not supposed to be there. It's a big
Sure,
deal
sure.
for him.
But then again,
And
he doesn't have to be there, right? It's
yeah,
just
but
like,
that's the problem with them not showing up. Arguably the best team in the world, you are setting a precedent. And I think that is to me the more disrespectful part of it of like, cool, what if Adam Lookman was winning? What if he was like, what if he won it? You know what I'm saying? And like, you don't even make it about Lookman anymore. You make it about yourself. Like we're completely dismissing Rodri in this conversation. Cool, we can have biases towards it, but we're completely dismissing the fact that this player is also a really good player and has also achieved a lot of things, and he did it also in a tournament like the Euros that are really Vini should have probably done something better with Brazil. You were supposed to win with Real Madrid. Nobody, I mean, I don't know, but that is my take. Real Madrid made it about themselves. So now, if Vini wins it next year, don't be surprised if people are like, well, we're not going to show up because we know that Vini's going to win it. So then when does it actually stop? So to me, that is where this really is a problem because the best team in the world, because you don't like the news of something, you're going to be like, oh, well, you know what? We're not going to go, and we're going to be in solidarity. Yeah, fucking right. You're not in solidarity with Vinicius, and that's the thing that you're not. That thing that's, to me, is the biggest thing. They're not in solidarity with him. They're doing a bigger plot about the Super League. So let's quit making it about Vini, and let's make it about Real Madrid, making it about themselves.
What do you mean by that?
What do you
No,
mean by that?
um, yes, but no. Because the reality
I'm pissed now.
the reality of it, and I feel like, yeah, I feel like it will be interesting to see what it looks like next year. But it's like, if there's anything that this Ballon d'Oro taught us, and the one before too, because a lot of people aren't talking about the one before, which I believe is also one where the winner got sabotaged. But it's like now it's 2 years in a row that this award is just losing its credibility. And for the quote unquote biggest team, or it's not even, we can't even call it a team because the whole team doesn't show up. You can't make it about the whole team. Only the nominees show up, and like there's no way Lucas Vasquez or Mendy are showing up to this award because there's no way these guys are winning anything or making the FIFA Pro XI. So there's just certain players from teams that go in, but if the certain players play on the biggest club and they don't show up, it keeps losing the credibility of this. And I feel like I'm okay with that because this is what this award has lost, like the credibility of it. Like, and it's like now it's not just the Ballon d'Oro. Now FIFA, to make more marketing, now they're handing out the best. And now they're handing UEFA play. I mean, the UEFA Player of the Year was always there, but now you're handling four different types of awards on a calendar year because you want to make more money. You want to be seen, and I think it's losing the value of winning. It's probably gonna, unless there's a player in the future years or there's a rivalry, maybe a Haaland v somebody else or a Lamine Yamal. We're not going to take, I won't take it seriously, and I feel like there's a lot of people that won't take this world as seriously as we used to in the Ronaldo and Messi days.
Well, if you have nothing to say, Ariel, nothing to respond.
I mean,
I'm
about
keep.
taking it serious. I'll probably always have something to respond, but like, I mean, to take it serious. I mean, I mean, to think that this, like that this whole plot is to make it lose credibility. We have been arguing about this since the Messi and Ronaldo debates about it losing credibility. So, but there is still some weight to it. So cool. Like, so to me, like you're still gonna need it to an extent. Like Real Madrid's still gonna need it. Like, I don't know, unless I'm wrong about that, which I can be, but Real Madrid is gonna need it because they're gonna want the next Ballon d'Oro like winner. I'm sure that they want Mbappe to win it at one point.
Yeah.
So, are they really? Do they really care about Vini losing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, that's where I am kind of at odds about it, because to me it feels like Real Madrid has made it about themselves and not really about the players that, whether we like it or not. I mean, there is some individual, like, accolades that go with it. So I don't know. I think Real Madrid as like a corporation are using it as a battleground to win some sort of thing against FIFA, which is, cool. If you're gonna go down that route, then fucking like just go all in. So next year, I don't even want to hear about Bellingham or Vinicius or anybody even wanting them to be in that list. Does that make sense? Like, if you're gonna hold this line, then hold it all the way through. But you know what? Next year, I'm gonna probably hear Real Madrid players on that Ballon d'Oro list. And if they win, they're going to probably be there.
Yeah.
Not the way they're playing now, but,
Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong about that?
No, you're not wrong. I don't think you're wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, I just, to me, I don't see, like, anything wrong with them not showing up. They don't want to show up, you don't have to show up. That's at the end of the day. That to me, that's what this is. No one is making anybody show up. Rodri couldn't have showed up for all we know. He probably, maybe before he even got to the event, would have been like, oh, I think I'm not gonna win it, so I'm not gonna show up or something like that. I mean, sure, the third place was Bellingham, but whoever else was third place, he didn't have to show up. So that to me is what it is. I think. Sure, do I want to see it as solidarity? Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. That's what I saw. I mean, you have players
Oh, it's just me and you, dog. We lost.
Well, to finish my thought.
Couldn't with the smoke.
To finish my thought, I just think, at the end of the day, like, yeah, it's solidarity, and it's...
Sorry, my shit died.
It's, that's what you saw players posting about during the game, and even people after were saying that they deserved to... that he deserved to win, so... Yeah. So as we wait till he comes back, Ariel, let us know what you think in the comments. Who do you agree on here with? Do you agree with me and my brother? Do you agree with Ariel? Yeah. And I mean that's gonna do it for this podcast. If you stayed all the way through, please leave a like, leave a comment, share it with your friends. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at StrictlyFootball21. Subscribe, please. It's free. It helps us a lot. If you're listening to this on Spotify, leave us a rating. And with that said, Luis, do you have anything else to tell everybody?
My computer will work next time. I apologize. We'll be good on the next run. Keep following us.
Unfortunately, Ariel probably not make it back, so we'll catch you on the next
I'm pissed now.
Oh, there we go. That's how we know.
You hear my guy? You hear my guy's sound bites? Ariel, if you can hear us, this is it.
I'm gonna come.
Love it.
I hope everybody has a great time, great week, great day. Yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.